back in this bitch like I never left. You heifers scoring, can help myself. I've been off exploring the deepest cliffs. Changed my tune, now I hit with a different rip. Consciousness shift, you can feel the shit. This world going digital, I've been Da Vinci. I'll give them a chance to catch up a bit. Let them come off of that dummy shit. I'll be advancing and talking pips, taking trips and
welcome back to another episode of your Digit Hustle News. As always, I am Wade Teamer. Yesterday I missed you guys. That's on my behalf. I apologize. Yesterday was 11/22, guys, so some exterior energies manifestations had to play out yesterday. I was not in control of that. I have a thing about if I don't wake up in the right space, I do not show my face. And that's just what it was, guys. I don't ever want to come to you lackluster, all right? Because we have a mission, okay? We have a mission to accomplish, guys, and we have to show up to the game at 100% every day. So, with that being said, guys, I'm probably going to do a lot of video dumps today, a lot of dumps this week. I'm going to give you some information. Definitely got to keep up, catch up, and get back in the swing of things, get the momentum back going, guys. And it looks like the market is doing the same. Okay, we have some very big gainers. The most notable right now, well, two of the most notable, one being e-gold, guys. We are sitting above $500 for e-gold right now, and I believe that they just launched a liquidity incentive program for their MyR DEX or decentralized exchange. And simply that means, guys, there is going to be a lot more activity on MyR, on Elrond's blockchain when it comes to DeFi. Okay. And they're also setting up an exchange too. So a lot of volume has been coming into Elrond. That would explain this beautiful price movement here. And honestly, if you look at the RSI here, we technically still have some room to grow. Going over to the daily, guys. Yeah, we definitely got some room to grow because we made contact with that top band, but we kind of got nudged away. That will give us some more room to go to the upside, guys. So e-gold breaking $500, guys. Now, Loop Ring up 14% right now, guys. The reason why everybody's watching Loop Ring, of course, is because the anticipated GameStop announcement. Everybody's expecting it to happen. I'm still expecting it to happen. But what do the technicals suggest? Well, technicals suggest, guys, let's go over here to the top chart RSI. Let's take a look at this. You see this red line here that indicates the 20-day moving average. That's simply an illustration of the price of the asset over the last 20 days. It's kind of a revolving period, 20 days at a time, cycle, if you will. But right now, this setup is actually very, very clean because you see here, we had a level of resistance at the 61 level. Okay, this is for Loop Ring and we're looking at the daily, but we had a little bit of resistance at that 61, 62 level, but we have broken through that as of this morning. So that indicates to me that we are heading the other way. Now, when you look at the chart here, the price action, you can see this is textbook. This looks to me like a textbook setup for Loop Ring, guys. We came off of the moving average. We played along it for a couple days, starting with the 19th. Came up a little bit, came back down, tested it again, then recovered. Now it looks like we're continuing this move to the upside. Now, this is a combination of a couple things. I believe that people are getting excited again about GameStop's NFT marketplace and potentially working with Loop Ring. But at the same time, guys, Loop Ring has its own set of developments going on as well. So that's very big, guys. XYO is also doing pretty strong right now, up 8%, guys. But what we want to look at is Bitcoin, okay, the market leader, because I have quite the interesting theory piecing together, guys. So I want to share that with you. Now, the sentiment is that we are to reach 100,000 by the end of the year. Okay, I am hoping for that because what the rest of the market is going to look like with Bitcoin at 100,000, it's going to blow people's minds, guys. But how are we going to get there? Well, let's take a look at some technical information to see if we can figure this out, guys. Now, starting on the daily, this is where we are starting the day. We are in the lower channels when it comes to the Bollinger Bands. We've had the contraction and then expansion, but this is a perfect teaching moment here, guys. Sometimes if we get that expansion and we're down in this lower channel, and you can see it forced us to break to the downside, and we broke to the downside with a lot of volatility. Okay, that would explain the expanding of these bands here. But another thing that we know for sure, and it can be seen much like here, September 21st, when we come down to that and make contact with that lower band, okay, we it's almost mathematically given that it tends to go the other way. As of right now, though, on the daily, we seem to be moving sideways. But you can see that there were attempts to get back up to that threshold. Now, looking at the RSI, guys, let's kind of see what we're looking to do here. Now, on November 20th, this indicates a resistance level. So that resistance is putting us at 45 and 45.9. Now, this still looks good to me. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Because much like on the loop ring chart, we saw that the resistance level was set at 61. Okay. This resistance being set at 45 actually puts us in a very strong position to move to the upside, because we're not in a um, oversold territory or an overbought territory. So that is a good signal to me, guys. But let's go over and look at the weekly and check our progress over here, starting with the RSI, of course, up top. Now, we've made another contact with this 20-day moving average. And again, I want to remind you what happened in September when we bounced off of this line. Okay. Going back to May, June, July, we came through it. That was the major dip. July 2nd sparked that rally. It broke us above the moving average. Then we came back down again. So with the way the technicals are setting up, guys, to me, it looks a lot like what we were going through here in September. So as you can see by the chart here, all we had to do was come back down to this moving average a bit, and then we started the rally up. So with my thinking, if 100K is the goal, okay, and I'm gonna zoom this out for us so we can see, 100K is this level up here, guys. Okay, right where that red line is. That's 99,902. Okay, that's $100,000. So we have to go from here all the way up to 100K. Now, everyone's projecting that this is going to happen before the end of the year. Well, as of time of recording, we only have about 30 odd days left, 38 maybe. Okay, so that would indicate to me that if we are going to move to the upside drastically, it has to occur in the next 3 weeks. That's just given. It has to occur in the next 3 weeks. So if that's the case, how will that play out? Well, I have been looking at the charts all weekend, guys, and I have a theory. Okay, as you can see, and it's perfectly indicated here on the weekly chart, guys, you're looking at the price. 20-day moving average is still at 50,000. Okay, this is what I have been seeing play out over the weekend. Bitcoin has been battling between 56 and 59,000 ever since Thursday evening. Okay, but what I've also seen come into play is the position of that moving average. It's got us locked right at 50,000. Okay, now I'll tell you this: a 50% run up in the price of Bitcoin in 3 weeks is not impossible. It's not impossible. I asked some people that were here in the previous bull run, crazier things have happened. So if that's the type of scenario that we are looking to have before the end of the year, then we can expect, honestly, the rest of this week to be red. Because from a technical standpoint, guys, what we have to have occur is the coming down to this bottom line, coming down to this red line here, the moving average. And then if we come back down that far, guys, to this level here, that will give us more than enough room to go to 100,000. Because one thing you have to keep in mind when you're doing technical analysis, when you're reading the charts and you're looking at these time frames, they operate in what I like to call concentric circles. Okay, so you have time frames within time frames within time frames. It's the most fascinating thing in the world. But simply on the weekly, the chart is showing us that we are getting closer to the moving average, getting close to a level of support, which is at 50,000. Okay. But if you go within the intraday 24 hours, you can also get a confirmation of the price behavior that will get us to that point. Okay. Now, the daily, you can see there's a bit of a descent being formed. But if you go within the smaller time frames, you will see that in the 4 hourly, that's what's keeping us stable. Okay. And on the hourly as well. Now, the hourly chart is quite interesting, guys. Okay. This is where the quick action takes place. The hourly chart is actually showing we have moved above the 20-day moving average. So that this hourly chart is going to provide our strength throughout the day. Okay. It's going to provide our strength throughout the day. And what I'm seeing right now is another contraction forming. So I see that we're going to play between 56 and 60,000 again for the rest of this week. And then with the last week in November, okay, the last week in November, guys, that's going to be that's going to be a very crucial week. Okay. Because if we don't start to see signs of moving up to the north, moving up towards 100K sometime next week, then it's going to be pushed back to December. And if it doesn't happen within the first week of December, that's when I think psychological sentiment kicks in. People start to get nervous. They start backing out of their positions. There's no $100,000 Bitcoin. It's not this, it's not that. There's going to be a lot of things to happen. So we have a series of combined factors, okay? A series of factors that could affect how we see the next 45 days playing out when it comes to the price of Bitcoin. So, guys, that is what I have been looking at play out over the weekend. Wanted to give you this technical analysis, guys, so we can have a pretty good idea of where the price is going. Simply put, this is my standing as of right now. Before we go to 100,000, we're probably going to touch 50 first. Okay. But if we do, that's good because you can see the technicals, we have support at that level. Okay. So I am guessing that we'll come down to 50K before we go back up to 100. And that's perfectly fine. Like I said, technically, from a technical perspective, that's healthy price behavior, simply put, guys. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Of course, if you found value, you know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I'm going to be putting in overtime this week, guys. Really going to be putting in overtime this week. Oh, also, you guys may have seen the clip in the beginning. I'm calling out all artists that are on the Audius platform. Okay. This is a shout out. This is a call, a request. If you are an artist on Audius, and I already know a few, I am one myself, but I'm putting together a series for artists on Audius to highlight them, give them some attention. You know, they can come on to the show, share new releases, talk about their music. The reason why is because Audius is the future of music. And we focus on the blockchain technologies. Audius blockchain is replacing SoundCloud, iTunes, Shopify, all those things. So I was trying to figure out a way to give you guys exposure to Audius without just giving you news updates. I believe I have found the solution, guys. So again, calling all Audius artists. If you're an artist on Audius and you want to get some exposure to your music, to your brand, send me an email, guys. Let's start this conversation. Let's get the ball rolling. But besides that, guys, got some more videos to make. But again, you know what I'm going to tell you. Have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, we making this money. I'll see y'all in the next video.